Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this one pretty short 'cause I'm pretty tired. And the Guy Gardner video yesterday went a bit longer than my usual superpowers videos are. Superpowers usually don't take that long, so they're fairly simple action figures. But I just had a lot to say about that one. But I think I can maybe get through this one a little quicker. This is Black Manta. This is, as you might notice from the title, the actually Black Manta, not the blue Black Manta that we previously got. You know, the first time I ever saw this character was on Super Friends, and this is clearly based on his Super Friends appearance with the blue suit rather than the black suit. But while I do like and appreciate this figure, I was hoping that they would go ahead and do an actually black version later. So I'm glad that they did. And honestly, I think like if I'd have known how rare this guy was going to be and how like this was going to be the only one I've ever seen in person, and that I would see this one several times, I probably would have kept this guy on the card. I probably would have just not opened the blue Black Manta. I probably would have just just been content having my one loose one be the black version. But as we say on Earth, c'est la vie. I'm hoping for some of you who are hunting for this figure still that you're able to find him eventually. I'm hoping he becomes a bit more common. That maybe Walmart's got like a bunch of them just stuck in a warehouse somewhere, and they run across them. Stranger things have happened. So anyway, pretty cool looking figure. It's the same artwork that was on the previous package, the same logo. And here's the bio on the back, and it reads: Aquaman's greatest enemy is the scourge of the seven seas, David Hyde, whose heart is as cold as the ocean depths he hunts. Again, there's not really a whole lot to that. They've got the same bio in three different languages on here. So I wish they'd just swap out the black plate and have just print out three different languages and send those to other countries. But I guess it's cheaper that way. But like I said, I'm pretty sure like the people in the other countries would appreciate having a full bio too. I'm not just saying that like to be specific to English speaking people. I'm pretty sure the Spanish and French speaking people would appreciate having a full bio too. Anyway, here's the cross cell artwork. You can see there's like a lot more characters on here. And next up, I will have Metamorpho to open. That's going to be the next one. Like I said, I just got these in a stack over here at the end of my couch, and I'm just going through them randomly because like I didn't put them in any particular order. So that's why Guy Gardner was first. It wasn't like I was itching to open him above any of the other ones. Honestly, the one I'm most excited about is Booster Gold, and he's at the bottom of the stack. Just how it works sometimes. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and open them up. Oh, by the way, also on the we got a cross sell on there for the vehicles. I don't know if I pointed that out. Is that it's got the Brainiac skull ship, the Bug, and the Whirly Bat. Excuse me, I told you I was tired. And I do have the Bug. I did manage to get that. I found it at Walmart for a clearance price, so I was pretty excited about that. So we'll have the Bug to open up shortly, but we got to get through these four superpowers figures first, and then I still got Darkseid to open. So my plan is once I get all four of these superpowers figures opened up, I'll do Darkseid next. I'm really excited about Darkseid. All right, so we got the bubble off the card. We got the insert out of the bubble. And here is Black Manta. So comparing the two figures, there are lots of differences in the paint jobs, even though it's the same sculpt. It's got a lot of differences as far as like how it's painted. So let's go over that real quick. So obviously the top of his helmet on the original one is more of a lavender gray sort of color. On the new one, it's silver, obviously. A pretty bright silver. I would have gone a little bit more of a gunmetal myself, but whatever, it still works. You will notice one difference though is that the whole helmet on this guy is painted the same color, whereas this one, the underside of the helmet is black. And this one has yellow lenses and black rims around the goggles, whereas this one still has silver rims around the goggles and red lenses. And then this one has a slightly darker grayish lavender for the neck piece, and this one has silver for the neck piece. So it kind of alternates between silver, black, because his whole outfit's black. You can see the buckle is painted in on this one, and the buckle is not painted in on this one. Honestly, like in the comic book, and we can see it in the illustration, Black Manta usually does not wear a belt. It's usually just kind of like a wetsuit. But I guess because they designed this based on the Super Friends version in the first place, he's just gonna have a belt. But they color it in black, and you can just kind of barely notice it, so it's not too bad. And other than the paint applications on the helmet and neck piece, everything else on this figure is just plain matte black because he's Black Manta, not Blue Manta. So but it's simple, it's effective. I happen to have also over here one of the Spin Master Black Manta figures. This is the comic book Black Manta that they did. So you can see, besides the differences in scale, that they attacked certain things in a different way. And he's got accessories, which this guy did not have any accessories. Not only that, but both of his hands are solid fists. So I couldn't even have him hold accessories if I wanted to, unfortunately. So let's talk about the articulation. Black Manta's head rotates. Technically, it should go all the way around, and you can see that I can turn it so that it's almost like completely backwards. But he's got the two cables, the two hoses that connect to his backpack. So obviously, that's like a scuba type thing. It's an aqua lung on the back, and provides him with oxygen, so he doesn't need that. So, and of course, it's part of the design of Black Manta that he has those tubes coming out of his helmet. So you would want to have those on there. So it's worth sacrificing a little bit of articulation, I think, for the accuracy of the figure. The arms rotate all the way around at the shoulder, as we can see, and it doesn't really get encumbered by the helmet or the hoses. It does kind of bump into the hose a little bit, fist there, but that's to be expected, and it's not going to hinder his articulation really at all. And then his legs can kick forward about that far, kick backward about that far, so he can do the splits no problem. And then, of course, he has articulated knees that can bend about 90 degrees. So that is the extent of the articulation on this figure. As I've mentioned many times before, these are retro style 1980s superhero action figures, and in the 80s, 5 points of articulation is about the best we could ask for. So these guys had 7 points of articulation. So that's a little bit more than your average 1980s action figure. Still not quite as much as G.I. Joe, which I think is like the champion of articulation for 80s action figures. But still, this is par for the course for superpowers. So, like I said, I'd first seen Black Manta on Super Friends, and I was a big fan of the character from the get-go. He kind of reminded me a little bit of Darth Vader, so I thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, on Super Friends, he was colored about like this. But you kind of understood when you had a character that was wearing dark blue like this on a cartoon show that it was supposed to represent black, especially if the character's name was Black Manta. Snake Eyes was colored the same shade of blue, and we knew he was supposed to be wearing a black outfit. So yeah, when superpowers started in the 1980s, and I felt instantly in love with these figures. It was the sort of thing where I was like, oh man, I hope they do Black Manta. I hope they do Sinestro. And here I am having to wait till 40 years later to get two of my favorite members of the Legion of Doom finally. So and here's Lex Luthor, the original vintage Kenner Lex Luthor, so we can see a few of these guys around. Now, of course, as far as villains go in this line, so far we've had 2 Sinestros and 2 Black Mantas, 0 Jokers, not one Joker. It's weird. Haven't had Luthor yet. We have had Brainiac. We've had Darkseid, which unfortunately was that New 52 Darkseid. I don't really care for that one. What else have we had in terms of villains? We had Deathstroke. We had the Batman Who Laughs, but Batman Who Laughs. I hate that character. Sorry, any fans out there of Batman Who Laughs, but that's just like this is too edgelord for me. I'm sorry. Um, what else? What else do we have in terms of villains? I think that might be it. Not a whole lot of. I've got a card right here with all these characters on there. Why don't I just look at that? All right. So in terms of villains in this line, we had Darkseid, uh, Batman Who Laughs, Deathstroke, Black Manta, Reverse Flash. I knew I was forgetting somebody, but he's so rare. I've never seen him in person. At least I saw Black Manta. I never saw Reverse Flash. No more villains on that aisle. Justice Lord Superman is technically a villain, even though it's a Superman variant. He's at least an evil version of Superman, so that counts as a villain. Let's see, Brainiac, the other Sinestro, and the other Black Manta. So we sorely need more villains in this line. It seems like they're doing like one villain per wave, and that seems about like what you would do in a superhero line, honestly, except for the fact that we've had like two of these guys repainted already. So I know we've got the Riddler coming, and I'm excited about the Riddler. And that's another guy from my Legion of Doom, by the way. But the Joker is long overdue in this line. The Joker is probably like the most famous villain in all of DC Comics. So I'm kind of shocked they haven't done the Joker yet. And you might kind of look at the Batman Who Laughs as well. They scratched their itch for the Joker with that, but nah, the Batman Who Laughs is no worthy substitute for the Joker. I'm sorry. So yeah, the Joker is one that's necessary to make. And I know some people out there are like, well, the Joker, you can still get the old superpowers version. Yeah, I have the old superpowers version. I want to see how Mcfarlane's going to handle them. I want to see that. Honestly, I've got the old superpowers version. I've got the Toy Biz version, and I've got the both versions from the Dark Knight collection of the Jack Nicholson Joker. Not to mention like quite a few animated series versions of the Joker. So it's not like I don't have the Joker in this scale or this style, but I want to see Mcfarlane's version. I'm sorry. And they can use that body for other things. Make an Uncle Sam figure. That would be cool. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about Black Manta. And like I said, I'm tired now. I'm going to go to sleep. But I will be back tomorrow to open up Metamorpho. So we'll get started on that. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to make sure that you don't miss any of the upcoming reviews I'm going to do, make sure you like and subscribe. All the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this figure and Black Manta in general. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.